Guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing something really special with our 670cc Vtwin buggy. Now this thing just got painted and put back together, so I'm super excited to test it out, test out its limits, and I will be doing a price reveal on all this stuff. For those of you that have been following the build, you'll know that this originated as a 150cc Chinese buggy. I actually wrecked that thing and broke my leg in. So now this thing has 8 to 10 inches of travel in the rear and about 6 to 7 in the front. So this thing is much better than stock. And taking it through some woods, some rugged terrain to test out its limits. Unfortunately, this thing is too big for our trailers. It looks like we're gonna have to rent out a trailer for the day.
Alright guys, we got our Sienna, or our trailer hooked up to the Sienna. So this is gonna be quite a task for it, but I mean, that's what we do here. Oh, I didn't even know this thing was on. It's so quiet.
Alrighty guys, we are finally here. It's a nice spot for us to let it rip. Buggy is looking sharp. Now, for those of you that have been following for the channel, you might have seen this property before. I am kind of keeping this on the low for now. This is our family's property, so no worrying about neighbors or getting the cops called. We're pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. I have been keeping it on the low because we have some things coming. So stay tuned. Now we did do a bunch of things off camera. We changed the jetting, we changed the gearing, and we also did dual piston front brakes, which those should be a huge difference over the single piston ones. So guys, I'm excited. I'm gonna get a feel out for this property. It's not terribly big, but it should be plenty for all our needs. Let's go ahead and hop in and give it a shot. Wow, that was fun. So before this thing gets even dirtier, I'm gonna go ahead and do a price reveal of all the parts and how much you would expect to pay for something like this if you wanted to build it, buy it, or maybe you're just wanting a rough general idea. 2 major rules of thumb: it's always gonna take longer than you expect, and it's always gonna cost more than you expect. So as you know, this thing started its life as a 150cc Chinese buggy with barely any travel, only 8 horsepower. I'm only going to be talking about what you see here, and we're going to start from the most expensive thing and work our way down. It was definitely a lot more than I expected. So starting with the back right here, these are King Shocks 2.0s, and they cost $943, and that's with the discount. We run out of travel before these shocks even get close to running out of travel. This is one of those things where I just use the buy once, cry once philosophy. So I just cried for a little bit, but they seem to be paying off. The second most expensive thing on this build was the engine. It was $706. Believe it or not, when they first came out, they actually cost like 500 bucks. One of the most expensive things is probably going to be the frame. You can get lucky and you can find a Chinese frame on Craigslist for 500 bucks. If you wanted to buy a brand new Chinese buggy, it would set you back $2 grand, but I don't recommend it. Now to put the power to the ground, Go Power Sports sent us this torque converter, which costs $595. Do not get them if your buggy weighs more than 500, 600 pounds, because you'll start to run into limitations. Now of course I didn't want to blow up this new engine, and I wanted to protect my investment, so I went ahead and did billet connecting rods, billet flywheel, billet valve covers, billet intake manifold, camshaft, valve springs, titanium, the list goes on and on. Now that set us back $1,500. That's just the price you gotta pay if you want to make these things rev out to 6,000 or 7,000 RPM like mine does. Next on the list we have these super nice wheels. They'll probably last the whole lifetime of this build. Now all that set me back $500, which I think is an excellent deal. Now all the Heim joints I used on this build cost $255, but the travel we were able to get out of those Heim joints is pretty good. So we got quad front shocks. Now those set us back only $160. The winch, already proving its worth, cost $134. So we pretty much used a Miata rear end to make this IRS. And so the rear spindles cost $98 for two. Two rear Miata axles cost $105 brand new, which I think is a killer deal. All the sprockets, chains, and jack shaft cost $120. The hubs and bearings cost $108. The muffler cost $41. And the metal used to make all these A-arms and redesign the whole rear end was $300. So we're right about to the end. The sandblasting cost us $250. Which I think it was worth it. Paint job and all the materials and labor cost us $240. We did not cheap out on the painting process. Aux beam hooked up the light bar, but I believe they cost $45. So the total of all that comes out to $6,069. Wow, that is a lot. Now $6,000 is only a fraction of the cost of what a Can-Am or a Polaris would cost brand new. Now those machines have a lot of R&D behind them, and they're also street legal. So this has none of that. Now for those of you who know, we did have an accident with this build. We crashed it into a house and broke our leg. And that video went semi-viral, and it kind of inspired me to take this thing to this level, and a lot of that money funded this. But if I could go back in time, here's what I would change. So first of all, I would change the engine. Now this engine held up to all the abuse. We even turbocharged this thing, so it is a pretty good engine. But I wish I would have done like an air-cooled motorcycle engine, maybe like a 650, 750. So the second thing I would change is, instead of spending a bunch of money on the rear shocks, I would have tried to equalize it between the front shocks too, because the front shocks are kind of crappy. To tell you the truth, guys, I am heavily invested in this build with time and money. And to tell you the truth, this could be the last few videos of this thing on the channel. Some of you are wanting 4x4. I'm sure we'll be doing a 4x4 off-road build in the future. I just really prefer to build the frame from scratch, just so that I can engineer everything, plan everything out, see everything out. But I can already tell that that's not going to be cheap. I hope you guys didn't mind all that talking, but let's go ahead and jump back in, and I'll give you a little tour of the property, and hopefully we'll find somewhere we can jump it. This thing's a crawler. I just want to get out and just take a look at that. Well guys, it's the next day and we're back home, but today what I actually want to do is take the wheels off my Miata, the rear wheels, and put them on the back of my buggy. The wheels shouldn't be as aggressive, which should hopefully allow us to do some donuts. I don't know, we'll see. Theoretically, yeah, I think it should. We are back at the property for the second day. The first day I was just taking it easy, but now we're really gonna try to push this thing and see what this thing is capable of. And now I actually have someone to record with me. Since we have no neighbors to worry about, we're gonna be pulling this baffle out. Should make it sound better. So I accidentally bent my fender, so I gotta bend it back. Just gotta use this stick as a pry bar. There we go, that's better. I forgot there was a creek here! I was going way too fast. I should have just took it that way. But luckily, we have this winch.
Maybe the tree would fall down. Because that's a weak tree. Ooh, that's cool.
See, we wouldn't have gotten out without a winch. I totally forgot there was a creek here, but I could have passed it if I would have went right here. But see, there's a huge rut right here and right there. So yeah. Okay guys, we had a lot of fun, but now it's time for our Miata wheels. So I'm really interested to see how they perform. Whew, let's drop it down. Wow, that looks so weird. You trying to go, mate? Alrighty guys, we had a great day today. We had a great day yesterday. The thing held up pretty good. I'm glad we had no engine problems, no suspension problems or anything like that. So yeah guys, I will catch you at the house. Well guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that. It was definitely very fun filming it, but there's a lot of stuff that didn't make it just because this video was already super long and I tried to really cram everything in. I think a lot of people just want to see straight action, so I really tried my best to make it straight action. mixed in with the price reveal. But guys, please leave some feedback down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. So I may go ahead and do like a behind the scenes video on my second channel. Guys, be sure you follow me on Instagram at Vasily Builds. If you want to check out some dope merch, the link is in the description. But I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. Peace and God bless.